In my last video I asked you guys to give me your ideas for a total conversion mod, and today it is finally time to reveal the first part of the community map. And for the first part I chose this idea of @s Reichelt. He came up with a medium-sized kingdom in an archipel region named Noros. He wants the islands to be full of forests and farmlands, creating a strong link between nature and its inhabitants. He also came up with multiple characters, which can all be seen later in this video. But let's start building this mod. At first, we want to create a height map containing, of course, our archipel region. I played around a little bit with the heightmap.png and then loaded it into the game. Next I had to do a lot of terraforming, but then our basic shape was pretty much ready. I then started to paint the map. Now for our main island, in which the capital of Noros is going to be implemented, I chose a mix of forest, farmland and beaches, just as Reichelt had proposed. I began painting the beaches at the edge of our island and then created a smoother transitions to the ocean, because I just thought it would look nicer. Now the farmlands, forests and plains are added and mixed together to create a nice, realistic looking paint. I then also painted the other islands of the archipel region and gave them smooth coastlines as well. I then noticed that our land needed rivers to make it feel alive, so I started to create a river map next. I already have an existing tutorial on how to do that on my channel. So I quickly deleted all the transparent pixels and began painting our rivers, using green as the river source and shades of blue for the whiteness of the river. I spread rivers upon the entire region and it turned out like this, which I was pretty happy with. So this is our terrain that we are going to work with for this mod. Now I could begin with the real part of creating this map, defining the provinces. For that I used a template of province patterns which I created and pasted it in my provinces.png. Now I only had to fix a few small problems and could begin adding lots and lots of other provinces. I then did something I call a swagger move. I used a Python script that I created using CK3 to automatically add my provinces in my definition file. The script added every single color in my provinces.png to my definition file and gave it an individual ID. That just saved me hours of work. Thanks ChatGPT, now I have working provinces. So now I could add my provinces to counties, add these to duchies and add those to kingdoms. And although that didn't work out great at first, I finally got it working and proceeded with the next step. Creating C provinces and giving them and my normal provinces locators to tell the game where a ship or a building would appear. Now was time for culture modding. So Reichelt suggested these cultures for our map. The Noros culture with agrarian, forest lover and garden builder as traditions. They are very close to nature and also want to boost their development. On the archipels he suggested to have a hybrid culture with some fishermen and naval traditions instead of the garden stuff, but still they have a great connection to the forest. So let's take a look at our Nori culture that I have created for this game. Now we have a communal ethos and a Arthon heritage, which is the same heritage as the Norvovex culture, which is the hybrid culture with the Nori culture. They use the Namin language, they have martial men only and the Nori aesthetics. For traditions I went with agrarian, which gives them a boost on content and takes away a little bit of prowess and makes man-at-arms more expensive, but also gives them a big development growth in farmlands, as well as increased building construction costs in farmlands as well. For the next tradition I went with forest folk, which gives them additional bonuses for the forestry line of buildings and also a development growth in forest. And for the last tradition I went with garden architects, so that the Nori people can construct the royal gardens duchy building and can also gain the gardener trait. Now for the hybrid culture, the Norvovex culture, they have the same heritage, which is Arthon, the same language, and just have some different traditions, beginning with seafarers, so they get a boost on their trade port buildings and also unlocks the ability to sail in major rivers, giving them reduced embarkation costs. Now they also have the forest folk tradition, because they are still connected to the forest and nature just as much as the Nori. But they also have the maritime mercantilism, so they can create the trade port one era early and get an additional 10% on taxes in coastal holdings. Now, for the eastern part of the archipel region, I created another culture which is also based on the Arthur heritage and has the traditions family business, adaptive skirmishes, and forbearing. Now, religion-wise, Reichelt suggested the religion of the old gods, which can be seen right here. It is an organized faith with the following tenets: religious law, sanctity of nature. Reichelt suggested that the religion has a great connection to nature, and sky burials, which gives them a small health boost, as well as the sins lazy, deceitful, callous, and virtues diligent, patient, and content. Now, because it is a very old faith, it is still male dominated. We can also see that in the description of the faith, the old gods are the spiritual center of this world. They can be met in every falcon, every sheep, and every whale. They were here before us, and they will be here after us, long after every human being is wiped off this earth. This religion has been followed here for over 5,000 years. So this is how our map turned out. We have the Kingdom of Noros right here, which has its king, King Dauva of Noros of the house Laitabu. He is a very skilled diplomat and also great in learning and stewardship. He is generally liked by his vassals and is a calm, forgiving, and patient man. He is married with Queen Ilsa of Noros, who is a very talented steward. She is compassionate, paranoid, and generous. Sadly, she started becoming very sick after she had a miscarriage with her second child. She's very ill and melancholic as well, which is not looking very good for her health. She's a very loyal person and only has one kid together with her husband, which is Raven. She's a stubborn, temperate, and honest woman of 18 years of age. She's also intelligent and comely. Now, for the other regions which are independent from the Kingdom of Noros, we also have custom dukes and counts, which all have individual traits and individual houses. We have our beautiful main island right here. To the east we have a mountain island with a little bit of swamp and hills to the north. And once again a mountain island, which is this region right here. This is actually all the duchies that I created for this map, and as you can see there are a lot of them. Those are all the duchies, and these are the two kingdoms, the Kingdom of Noros and the Kingdom of Kemiren. Now, being 44 years of age, our King Dauva has a challenge ahead of him, because his only heir is his daughter Raven, which could cause some problems in succession. Also, taking a look at all the other neighboring rulers, this could spark some conflicts in this area. Now, this is only a small area in a very big world map, which will be expanded in this direction here as well. So if you want your kingdom to be in this map, please comment on how you want your kingdom to look, which cultures and religions you want to have, which custom characters, just as Reichelt did. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. It has been a lot of work for me, and I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe and leave a like so that I can make a lot of those videos in the future. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time.